I can't scratch. I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round. Welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly. Thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase a bag. I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything.
The venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. All I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dream. Cause I'll do anything. Want a reality. I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dreams. Cause I'll do anything.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all.
And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
This is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done, but what's the point of
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily DGen. I'm your host, TradeFly, and as you can see, we are mobile today, but you know what? I can't let you guys down, all right? Still bringing you some content. We got some charts to look at. Bitcoin with a pop, but alts are getting whacked. What is going on right now? So we're going to look at the charts, see where we're going to go from here, see if we have any support underneath of us. Hint, hint, we do. Don't you worry about that, but it is some interesting times. Bitcoin dominance on the rise. You know, your boy Ben Cohen, he may have been on to something. He's been screaming for Bitcoin dominance to continue to go up for quite some time. We are trending in that direction, but Bitcoin, if you're a Bitcoin maxi, or if you're a heavy Bitcoin, still sunny days for you, no doubt about it. But first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the chat, just to guys, so you know today. I'm gonna give you some shout outs, but it's gonna be really, really hard for me to keep up with the chat because I only literally have my laptop. That is all I got to work with. One thing I do ask you guys, just let me know, make sure the sound is okay. Hopefully that does sound okay. If it doesn't, let me know. I'll try my best to tweak it as we go along here. But let's go ahead and get over to it, and let's give you guys some shout out because, hey, this is why we do it, man. This is why we do it. I'm gonna scroll up real quick here and let's get this party started. We got our dude HRJ Trading in the house. Always dropping those fire signals over in the Discord. Get over there. If you're not over there, you are absolutely wrong. We got a free side, we got a premium side, and both are worth it. I'm telling you right now. All set, what up to you? How you doing? Good to see you. DDT, my man Darren does things in the house. What up to you? He said, who shorted? I know you've been plotting on that short. You were talking about it yesterday, so you better be in a short. HRJ got you already, and Infinite Team TA, what up to you, man? Good afternoon, lovely people. What up, dude? Thank you for being here, my guy. All right, scrolling down here, we got Crypto Squid in the house. What up, dude? He said, well, yo, my squids. And you know, he's another one dropping some of those fire setups. I'm telling you, you guys got to go check out that premium side, man. They are giving you some really legit setups, and they are printing, as the title says today on the thumbnail, trades that print. That's what we do over in the Discord. There ain't no doubt about it. Alexandra G, what up to you? Good morning. Have a great stream. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. All right, scrolling it down right now, we got Crypto Chef in the house. LFG, what up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. my man. Me and Alexo had a little cameo in there. All right, looks like audio sounds good. All right, sweet. We're going to keep pushing that. Colin Crypto. Yo, what up to you, man? Good to see you. Crypto mode. I don't know about that, man. I like my setups a little bit better in Crypto. I ain't going to lie to you. All right, let's keep it going. Scrolling down a little bit more. all set. Did I get you? If I didn't, what up to you? Good to see you. And I think that about wraps it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get over to our first segment. That's going to be the update. All right, we're just going to go through an update, and then we'll hit up after we do the top down, we'll get over to the daily DGen. I know you guys love that, but first up we have, let me see, make sure this actually came up. It did. All right, we're good. Total market cap sitting at 3.29 trillion. That's up 1.04%. Fear and greed index currently sitting at 48 right now, so we are neutral. Bitcoin dominance is at 64.9%, so that is up there, no doubt about it. Bitcoin is pretty much one of the few things moving in the positive, at least in the top 10. Okay, so that's up 1.1%. That's at 107,269. Ethereum, what I tell you, it's following all the altcoins. All right, that's at 2412, and we are at a very significant area of resistance in my mind. We talked about that quite a bit yesterday. That is down 2.18%. What did I say? I was looking for about a 1% move there to the downside. That has played out without a doubt. Let's go over to the crypto bubbles and PI. Like I said, it's diverging usually from the market. It's up 16.6%. BCH, that kind of chomps on the heels of Bitcoin there. That is at 6.3%. Sipping on some scissor. And my favorite number. It is up 8%. Everything else is in the red AF out there. Virtual's down 12.3%. Sky down 9%. PayPay down 5.6%. Farcoin down 7.2%. Let's see, 9.5 for Sonic. I don't know why the S always throws me off on Sonic. Phantom, man, it was Phantom. Why can't we just stick with that? WIF is down 9.1%. As you can see, I mean, a lot of things are taking a pretty decent hit today. I mean, like around 4%, 4 to 5% seems to be the trend on the bubbles to the negative for the altcoins. So interesting to see out there. I don't know why there's such a divergence. There may have been some news that I did miss. I don't know if they said something today when Powell was talking, but let me know. Let me know in the chat. I will try to screen the chat in a second here just to see what you guys have to say. There could be something I'm missing. All right, liquidation heat map. You know, we got to look at that every day. It's kind of our thing. You got some liquidity at about 108,600. Already marked that on the chart. And then you have another hotspot at about 103.5. Okay, so that's kind of your two hotspots right now. But you can see what the trend is. Right, if you're looking at the price action, the trend is working its way up. So what's more in danger? The liquidity actually to the top side would be more in danger. Now, that being said, we did get a pretty sharp rejection here. Could we start seeing a little change in direction here for the price action? That is to be determined. But in terms of liquidity, what's the closest right now? Liquidity to the top side is actually the closest. But again, that's at 108.6. So we'll have to go to the charts, take a look-see and see what we see there to see if that is reasonable in terms of continuing a move to the upside. And I would say, honestly, it is. If you're looking at where you're at right now, you've gotten over your previous week pivot, you've gotten over your previous day high, you got over the value area high. I mean, there's a nice little horizontal there as well in the daily. So that liquidity to the top side very much in play. I would say there's really not a whole lot that I would see right now that's going to hold you back. If you do we could do a fib, just a fib retracement from top to the bottom here just to see, and it'd be some up for debate on whether you use this one or this one, but we'll go with this one here. That brings you to the 786. Okay, so there would be a little bit of argument. Liquidity sitting right in the platinum pocket, but the 786 is a pretty solid area to hit your head on. And if we take it from this one here, that's above the platinum pocket. So yeah, that makes it a little bit tougher, but I don't know, man. I mean, the price action is just moving. Let's see what the NASDAQ saw. There we go. So that's an issue there. NASDAQ is down, SPX is down. That is not ideal in terms of if you want to look for some continued upside potential for Bitcoin. I wonder if those can be leading indicators. Very interesting. Bitcoin is up 1.12%, and then NASDAQ and like most of the altcoins are down. It's almost like the altcoins are more correlated to the NASDAQ than they are to Bitcoin right now. So interesting. I don't know what I'm missing. I had to run a little PT test today. All right, your boy is still in shape. I got a 99, so not too bad for an old man. I'm not going to tell you guys my age. Some of you know, some of you don't, but we're going to leave that for the great mystery for you guys. But hey, still crushing it. All right, back to the charts here. Let me just double check. We're still good on the chart. Yep. All right, sweet. So looking at some of your key levels here. All right, let's get rid of your fib retracement. Obviously this area of resistance right here, we've had this up for quite some time. That really starts at about 110.5. That's going to be an area you're going to look for resistance, okay? If we do get a push up and we do clear this liquidity, then I would say you're going to hit your head somewhere around 10.5, and you're likely to see an initial rejection. So I want you to hear that and hear that very clear. I'm not saying that you can't move through that area. I just think that you're going to see a little bit of pullback when you interact with that area initially. What does that mean? It kind of opens up the door for you to potentially take an intraday or a short. The thing that that leaves me a little pause with all of this, and I talked about this yesterday, is when we were pushing up towards the value area high. Remember, this liquidity was down here. It wasn't up here. It was down here, right? And it was actually underneath of the value area high. And that, for me, is a little bit inverse of what I typically look for in terms of a setup and getting into a trade. I talked about this too. What I like to see is the liquidity actually be over top of that area of resistance. And then I look for that wick, reestablish the zone, reestablish the range, whatever you want to call it. Basically what I would be looking for is a wick up, grab liquidity, come back down, reestablish below the value area high, and then look for that short would be my preference typically. So right now, this is one of those days where I'm kind of sitting back and I just don't see a true setup that I like. Okay, so we've had a very, very strong push to the upside. I mean, you could really say that, we're trying to flip the current trend, but also too, if you're looking at this, I know this is kind of arced here, but I mean, there's an argument to say that if we pivot here, if we pivot at this point right here, then you're looking at just a lower high, right? Just looking at a lower high, and then you can see that continuation of price action down. That is very much in play right now. But the good news is you've gotten in the range, and you came into the range with some authority. Okay, so that is good. So what have we done? We've now established all of that support underneath of us, and that's what you want, right? If you're looking for that continuation of price action, you do want to see all of those moving averages, all of those significant areas of support and resistance below you. Really not resistance, obviously, but it was at one point resistance, so just understand. But I mean, look at everything that we've put under us in the matter of 3 days, 72 hours, and we have put all of this nonsense underneath of us. That is good. Okay, so that is good. You want to see that. You want to see it maintain. What we'd really like to see is price action kind of work its way up here and start to consolidate up here, right? Just kind of take that next step up, look for that consolidation, and then give your indicators and, oscillators time to reset. That is more ideal in terms of okay, cool. If you're an RSI guy or you're a MACD guy, whatever the case may be, however you trade, you want to start seeing those things reset and have the opportunity to start pushing to the positive side. We did talk about the True 7. We talked about the True 7 Flash, right? That is one oscillator that I like. It's a combination of 7. It's a ChartPrime specific one. It is on their main oscillator. It's a premium one. You got to pay for that. Can save you 35%, but that's only on the first month. So if you like that stuff, check it out. If not, whatever. So anyways, that's kind of your area of resistance that I'm keeping my eye on. That's where I think you're going to hit your head. That's where I think you're going to have an opportunity for potential trade. And we'll be looking for that if we continue to push up, right? I'm a big proponent of just kind of waiting and letting it come to me. If we go to the smaller time frames, let's look at the 4 hour real quick. Again, got a lot of the moving averages underneath you. That's good. It looks like you're kind of retesting the value area high. So there is that opportunity. If you think this is going to keep putting, man, that's bullish AF. Bullish AF, seeing that just ascending level of support, and it is more than 45 degrees right now. But it does look like you got a breakout retest in the 4 hour. Let's look at the hourly just to see a little bit more clear of a picture there of the value area high. There you go. So that is really your breakout retest of the value area high. Now, that being said, I don't know that, I'm on board right now. I'm not super excited about taking a trade right now. There's mixed signals, right? Bitcoin's pushing, Nasdaq's not, SPX is not. All your altcoins are pulling back. Why Bitcoin is diverging from the rest of the market is interesting, but it does not give me a warm and fuzzy about taking a position on Bitcoin itself, even though we are seeing kind of, one of the things we like to see is that breakout retest I will not deny that. I talk about it all the time, but there's just, I don't know, something holding me back right now. I do still have some positions open, some spot positions on Cardano and AVAX. They were looking good. I think Cardano is about, we're just a little bit in the positive for Cardano. Let me see about AVAX. Yeah, AVAX is good. AVAX is in the positive. But man, what a little pullback there. Very interesting that they pulled back so sharply. Let's look at USDT dominance. We've been talking about that quite a bit. Let me just double check, make sure we're all good here. Yep, we're good. All right, so I got to do that a couple times just because I can't actually see what's going on with my screen. So I just got to make sure that you guys aren't screaming at me saying chart. So yeah, here we go. We came right down to the bottom of the channel here, and there it is, man. So you get that push down. What does this mean? Well, it's an inverse relationship, right? So if you were in a trade, if you were in a long position, this is where I'd start thinking about, all right, maybe this is where, we kind of potentially cut it off, right? Like, or we start looking at like, hey, are we at an area of resistance for Bitcoin? And we try to correlate the two of them, because honestly, this has been pretty fire. Like, we were up here, we were talking about this area, and we're like, man, everything lined up. Even though there was a lot going on with Iran and Israel, with all that going on, we're like, hey, we're in a pretty good spot in terms of USDT dominance. We're total market cap as well as Bitcoin, like it all lined up, and sure enough, it played out. So why would we not consider this in terms of it coming down here and retesting that area? I think I did this on a larger time frame. Let's get rid of these arrows. No, that one's good. So you're testing a key level really on USDT dominance, and we've been following this channel for quite some time. Okay, so what you've seen right now is a little bounce off the lower trend line there. And what's our expectation? Well, that it holds up its support. So again, if we are holding up support, let's say we start working our way back up to the 200, then that means that there could be an opportunity here to see some downside for Bitcoin in the near term. We'll keep our eye on that. We'll see how that plays out. If it does fall out of the channel though, which theoretically it should, right? Because a ascending channel, it should break to the downside theoretically. That's the more likely thing to happen. So you got to keep an eye on that as well. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, like at some point, this thing is going to break down. And so be very, very cautious of that. When it does, where you're looking for some support, we've talked about this area down here, this horizontal, right about 4.5%. I do think that you're going to have an opportunity to find support there if it does break down. So again, just think about where you're at in your position. If you're in a long or a short, or you're looking to open one, I guess in this case, you would be in a long, and you would be looking at potentially closing that long as it comes down to this area of significant support for USDT dominance. And then if we look for that bounce, it's just the inverse relationship. So let's go over to total market cap, look at that real quick. That does seem to be working its way back up. You could argue for a change of character here on the hourly right now. I would take that horizontal, looking for the breakout retest of that horizontal right there, and then looking for the continuation up and right for the total market cap would be, that would be what I would be looking for. That was a mouthful, no doubt about it. SPX actually just reversed fortune really quick there. It was down, I think, about 0.3%. It's already just slightly into the green now. So it sounds like some volatility in the market. Let's look at the VIX. The VIX is down 1.54, so it's not super volatile, to be honest. Surprising. Just looking at the VIX real quick, just want to see where it's at. It is finding a little bit of support there. Don't even know if that's a real thing when you're looking at the VIX, but here nor there. Looks like support to me. What do you think? Cool. Back to the NASDAQ, talked about that. That's just skying right now, off and away. See you later. We do have two key zones there. Right here at about 84, and then about 79.29. Nope, I didn't update the chart yet. So I know somebody was talking to me about that, using the actual chart, the real chart. I will do that at some point, but here nor there. You can follow this one, and it's not going to be the same numbers, but it's going to be samesies in terms of the move, and you'll know kind of where to enter and exit. So right now, just looking at retesting the top of the range here, I do think you'll get some price action when you come down, retest the top of the range. And of course, when you pull back to the 382, as well as this buy zone here on my chart, 79.29, that could be a potential setup for a little long position on the NASDAQ. Hasn't changed. All right, so that's still same. Haven't really updated that. Bitcoin looking like it's starting to move to the upside again. Like I said, a little breakout retest of the value area high. I just don't know how enticed I am to take a position on it right now, but it's technically doing what it's supposed to do. And, you know, liquidity to the top side here is the easiest to reach. Not be surprised to come up and grab this liquidity and maybe hit its head right about here on this horizontal at about 108.9. Why am I looking at that? One, very sharp rejection out of that area. And then when you come back left on the chart, what are you looking at? You're looking at both support and resistance in that area at about 108.9. 108.9 is an area to keep your eye on. We can mark that on our charts here. Let's go ahead and do that. This is really just a pretty nice horizontal. Let's change the color here. We'll make it red. Red, you did. All right, so 108.9. Again, just kind of splitting some of the price action, right? So looking at that, very clear block of price action here, very clear block of price action here, and look at the rejection, or not even the rejection, but fix that real quick. The breakout retest here, not even a break. Yeah, kind of. It is. Just flipping what was support into resistance. All right, so breaks down, comes up, retests that area, makes it key. So 108.9, I think is a pretty key level because you see this breakdown right here. All right, so just again, looking at price action, breaking it up, support, resistance, and then you get that very key retest and then continuation to the downside. And then once you come back all the way to the right, we're talking when did this happen? This was May of 25. We did it again in June of 25. So there you go. Retested that level again and breakdown. Very big breakdown off of that area. So you want to keep that. You want to keep that in your sights there. All right. So I think that's a pretty key level. I'd mark that in your charts. If you don't have 108.9 on your charts, go ahead and mark that down. I think you're going to see some price action out of that area. All right. Let me check the chat real quick here. Here we go. All right. Looking good. Audio sounds good. All right. I got some shout outs here. I see some peeps rolling in the chat here. Man, you guys are... Did you say, look at those wrinkles? Get out of here. Username. Steve Hickey, what up, man? Day's going good, dude. Just knocked out a PT test this morning. Crushed it. Now I'm on here. Going live. Crux of Crypto's in the house. What up, dude? Good to see you, man. Sorry for the delay. I just, it's hard right now. I only have one screen. Take a look-see. What up, Mark? Good to see you as well. Hey, TradeFly 29. I appreciate that. Thank you, Crux. Thank you. All right, scrolling down a little bit more. Who else we got in the chat? I got Steve in there. B Team Crypto. What up, dude? Good to see you in the chat as well. The Dusty Hunt. Yo, what up to you? Al Jr. All right. Let me see if I can read Al's. Sometimes Al's wild. That's my... All right, I can do that one. What up, beautiful people? Don't drink and drive. Smoking TradeFly. LFG. Much love, people. Love it. Love it. Love it. David Brumbelow. What up, man? Good to see you as well. Scrolling down a little bit. You guys got the chat flowing, man. I can't even watch the chat, and you guys got this thing flowing. Hard to keep up. He's the new FD White. Who's the new FD White? I'll have to find out. Does TradeFly have a short neck, long collar, or big chin? I think my shirt's a little high. It's like up my neck. So it probably this all looks awkward. I'm like leaning, I'm in my car. I'm just bumming some internet right now. That's how we roll. I do it for you guys. Kelly Kel, what up to you? Yeah, Bishop TradeFly. It probably does look like that. I'm not gonna lie. All right, cool. I'm outside in the sun TradeFly doing the Tesla stream again. You know it, man. It's becoming a thing, that's for sure. Charting on a nav system, I wish, dude. That'd be cool. All right. Eventually, I think Rock is going to be in the Teslas. It'll do the charting for me. Let's get back to the charts, shall we? Or actually, I got something better for you. And I even have my stream deck, which is actually next level for being in the car. So we're going to get into one of your favorite segments here. It's going to be the Daily DJ. Let's go ahead and get that popping. All right, give it an opportunity to load as things are a little bit slow today. Man, there was something I wanted to look at. What was it? It was syrup. Let's see if they have syrup. Sipping on some syrup. They do. You know we got to do it. You know we got to do it. I'm tempted to throw money on syrup. Jeez. Okay, 3 minute looking good. Let's see here. Why is this popping so hard? What is going on? Why did I not know about this? 7 May? Holy moly. How did I miss this? That is not what I wanted, by the way. Oh my god, go away. There it is, the ruler. What are we at? So, jeez. This thing's up almost 200% since it's been on Bitunix. That's wild. All right, we are taking a position on syrup. That is happening. Now, let me just look at the chat here. Bless my bags. Ominous Dominus. Your bags have been blessed. You will see green. All right. Let's go over to, you guys are 73. It's not even close. 22 votes. All right. We're going to go ahead and end that. That's not even close. All right. We're sipping on some scissor today. This is happening. That's been a wild move. It's going to be tough to take along here, but we're doing it. You know how we roll. Because I got 5 on it. Isolate it. Yes, that is good. 20x. That'll work. And then cost value is 5, you know, just a little bit of capital. If you guys don't know, we don't even really do TA on this. The daily DJ, and the idea of this is like, we just have a little bit of fun and give you guys, the audience, opportunity to vote whether we go long or short. Same story, different day. You guys know the drill at this point. I know some people get spun up about it. They're like, oh my God. Like, bro, we're just having fun. Thank you, Bitunix, for getting rid of the fees. Love you a long time. I don't know, man. This one's going to be probably pretty volatile. I'm going to put I'll put a TP on here, but that might actually bite us. We'll get a little more loosey-goosey with it today. We'll put a 0.5 on there. Nah, that's not even going to be... I don't think that's going to be enough. Let's do a 1. Okay. Just basically go to 1 to 1. Or should we just go 2 to 1? Let's do that. That would be a 40% move. So we'll do a 2 to 1. We'll put it in there. We'll see what happens. Just so you guys know, I a little sketch about the setup here. Based on this wick right here. You see obvious selling pressure coming in pretty quickly. That wick after a nice drive to the upside, and you're finally starting to break like the trend, right? So not ideal to jump in on a long position, but we'll see. There's hope. There's hope here. All right. Well, we're in there. We'll see how this plays out. This could be a quick one, but let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Just make sure I got the correct windows up. Yep, we're good. Let's keep it moving. How you doing? Keep it moving. All right. So, economic calendar, Fed Chair Powell testimony. That was today. It should be, I think, probably over at this point, but I have no idea what he was talking about today. I'm gonna be honest with you, been busy, and I'll go back and kind of look at it, get a summary. In terms of things that are coming up here, we got durable goods month over month, the GDP growth rate, that's a big one. That'll be tomorrow. All right, and then Friday, you got core PCE price index month over month, personal income month over month, and personal spending month over month. So you got a couple things that can move the market a little bit. Big one here that I'd be watching out for, GDP growth rate. If you guys want to get some alpha, go check out Piper. He'll let you know what it means. All right, so news. We'll talk about that. We'll be quick about it. President Trump says he started interviewing candidates to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Chair Powell could be on his way out. Not too surprised to see this, to be honest with you. Orange Man is a little volatile. There's no doubt about it. Once he gets pissed, he's pissed, and that's pretty much it. And he likes to fire people, man. He does not play around, but that's kind of his business practice. He's kind of known for that, right? Even in the TV show, his big catchline was "You're fired," right? So here nor there, we'll see. What do you guys think? You guys sad to see old Papa Powell go? Let me know in the chat. If you want Powell to stay, put a 1 in the chat. 2 if you're like, deuce. See you later, man. Have a good one. All right. Next thing we got is going to be the FUD segment. Let's go ahead and get that going. You know what we got to do. Sound the siren. All right. Breaking U.S. consumer confidence dropped 5.4 points in June to 93. That's going to be the second lowest since February 2021. You know what 2022 was, right? Bear market. Weakness was widespread among components, with both current conditions and future expectations driving the decline. The present situation index fell 6.8 points to 129.1, the second lowest reading since March of 2021. So now 2021, understand that was the highs, right? We drove up a little bit, and then all of a sudden on the backside of that in 2021 is really where we started that move, that decline. So could we set that high, or have we set that high? And then could you see a decline here maybe later on in the year? That could be something we pay attention to. All right, so just want to visit that, take a look at it. I don't have too much of analysis on it, just trying to, put things together, right? Kind of line them up. Sometimes, the weirdest things will pop up, and they'll kind of align. Unlike the M2 money flow, I know everybody was really excited about that, but if you haven't looked at it recently, that M2 money flow is very much diverging in terms of price action now. So all good things must come to an end, I guess. Let's go back to the charts here, and we're gonna look at Ethereum first. Scrolling down. All right, here we go. 2420. There it is. So we're looking at this area right here, value area low. All right, and we spent a lot of time on that yesterday. The reason we spent a lot of time on, let's go to the daily real quick, is because how many times we've actually hit that area as support. Okay, so it's been instrumental in price action. So you got a true retest of that area, and you can see initial rejection is alive and well. You got initial rejection all the way down to another key level here that we have kind of zoned out, and that really started at about 2385. Okay, 2385, and then 2391 we had a nice little horizontal as well. We marked that out. I believe we marked that out yesterday. Really, that was to set an alert. Why? Because I thought that we would see a rejection down to this level, and I mean, it almost wicked right off of our little notification area. Basically, it just came and retested this area of the wick here. All right, so where you found support, 2391, just wicked right off of it. I think really that was more of just a notification, more so than prediction of where we were gonna wick. But here nor there, that's where it wicked, was right off the notification, and that was at 2391. I think I was looking for about a 1% move at minimum for downside. We got a lot more than that. You got about a 3% move to the downside. But here we are now. The good news is, all right, is that you would like to see some consolidation in here, and that's okay. All right, the bad news is you did get the rejection, but it's holding up. So it's not like we got this rejection and then we broke down and like we came all the way back down to the key level at about 22, all right, and started bouncing around in here. So there's still, I'd say still hope, right? You want to see this at least come and start knocking on the door again and try to retest this area, maybe you start seeing an ascending level of support. If you see an ascending level of support and you got that horizontal here, ascending triangle, if you see that starting to form, that could actually be an okay thing, because then I think your probability of getting back into the range is better. Okay, so keep an eye on that. If you do, we've kind of talked about this quite a bit. What I don't like is getting over the value area low and immediately running right into a resistance. So therefore, for me, taking a long right now just is not in the cards. Okay, not in the cards for ETH. We've had setups before that we liked. This is not one of them. You know, I'm just kind of chilling. If you would have took the short, I would have completely understood that. Initial rejection, intraday, you know, just taking that back down here. And you guys know the setup that, you know, I think we took a quick swag at that. I think I remember bringing the box down here. I didn't leave it up, but I think I was like, hey, it's all about where that wick is. Get yourself below or above the wick, take it down to this area right here. That's a 3.75% move. I think we were kind of like swagging that, right? We are kind of going back and forth between where would it be 2, where would it be 3, and you're trying to figure that out. And this shows you right here what I'm talking about. So the reason I'm going back and like living the life of hindsight is, 1, we talked about it, but 2, I want to show you what I'm talking about when I'm like, hey, you're gonna put your stop loss above that wick. Once it comes back down below, like this is when you get in. All right, so you get in, you want, and of course you're gonna be on smaller time frames, right? A lot of times you'll be on a 5-minute, a 15-minute. You know, I think I've been working a lot on the 15-minute here as of late, but you know, there you go. So really what you're really looking for is this candle right here, and this is really important. Okay, so it's one thing that I'm not the greatest at is like I roll through this TA and I'm like, hey, this is what you want, this is what you want to happen. But this candle right here is showing you like, all right, it's time. Okay, and a lot of times like I'll take this and let it come up just a little bit, just you know, a little confirmation here that we're coming back down. But you'll see a lot of times it'll push back up and then back down. But this candle right here, this is your one that kind of tells you like, hey, this is where we would actually get in. So if you were to move this to the candle close, again, your stop loss is going to be above the wick here. Why would the box populate right there? Stop loss would be above the wick. All right, give yourself a little bit of a buffer. Okay, so that's your real entry. And then your real exit, all right, would really be down here. So a lot of times though, I like to look for only a 1% move, but here nor there, your real exit, I mean, it just depends on where you were taking this. If you took it down to the line here, or if you took it all the way down to the box, up to you. I mean, personally, I probably would have taken it to about where this line is, just looking at where the price action is and how it was reacting to it. But here nor there, like, even if you were getting right here, then you kind of start looking at the inverse, right? And when you start seeing stuff like this, where you get this nice wick in vicinity of an area you have support, you see that wick come in, I would have likely closed the trade at that point, just knowing that you're getting some buying pressure coming in. And this is not saying that we can't continue to come down, because that's exactly what happened in my last trade. I got out very similar. All right, I was in a long position on, I think it was Ethereum. I was in a long, and I saw this to the top side, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this. I'm pretty close to my target area, and I see some buying pressure come in. I'm good. It ended up continuing just like this, actually. And it actually hit my initial target area. That's okay, man. The difference there between here and there was pretty minimal. I mean, yeah, it was probably like $150 or so, but when it comes down to it, like, this was the safer exit just when I saw that buying pressure come in, because you never know if that's really where you get that change, right? Where you get the change of trend and starts working its way back up, retests its areas, gets stopped out, yada, 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 because you moved it to stop. You moved your stop to entry. Like, that happens a lot too. And then it still ends up going back to where you want. So, you know, it's just a matter of kind of thinking through it. And of course, you got the 200 here on the 15-minute as well. So that could have been a driving factor. I can't say for sure, like, I would have exited there, but I would say likely that would have been where I exited. And again, benefit of hindsight, didn't take this trade, but we did talk about it. So just a little follow through there about like kind of the thought process on getting into that trade. And then like a lot of times, you know, I see this where guys get into trades and they have these target areas and they're like, hey, I have this 3-to-1, I got this 2-to-1, and then they're out of the trade. And you're just like, what the hell happened? Like, your target area was here, but you're already out of the trade. Why is that? Well, as they analyze and as they continue to look through things, something lines up for them sometimes. Like if you're on a different time frame that you didn't analyze getting into the trade, I will continue to look at it like and be like, oh man, I didn't really look at the 4 hour when I got into this initially, or I didn't really look at the 1 hour when I got into this initially. And then what I'm seeing here is like, oh man, there's confluence between multiple different time frames, and that could, you know, drive the decision process for me to be a little bit more conservative when I get out, because I'm a big proponent of like, once you get there and like you got the shades on, you're like, man, I think I won this trade. It's looking good right now. I'm a big proponent of the minute you start like really thinking about it and second guessing yourself, just go ahead and take your profits. And I do that more so than not, to be completely honest with you. But there's usually a little bit of a basis there. Like there's going to be something that's lining up to be like, you know what? I didn't really see this area of support, like right here on the 15-minute chart. I didn't see that initially. And then I saw this buying pressure come in. That would be a reason for me to potentially get out and just be more conservative in my approach. So just kind of talking you through the process a little bit there. I think it's very important to really, you know, think through those things. All right, sweet. There's that. Ethereum. So we really only revisited that. Let's go through some of the key levels here. Again, you got your POC. That's sitting at about 25.36. We talked about how key the 2500 level is. You've just seen it marinate at about 2500. I know you guys like that, right? The ribs. Marinate around the POC quite a bit. Your value area high currently sitting at 2650. So I would expect some resistance up there as well. If you break through some of these moving averages, again, even on the daily, it's converging right at the POC. I think you're getting a nice little pop up the value area high. I think that is an opportunity for you guys to take a trade. If it breaks the POC, breakout retest. Looking at that right now, let's look at a potential long here. It's just like, all right. There you go. So up to the value area high. I think we talked about this yesterday as well. And really, it has a lot to do with where the wick is, okay? So even if you were to come down to the value area low to 1.58, I mean, that gives you a big buffer. But let's put it a little bit higher than that. I mean, I wouldn't be too excited about taking a wick that went down almost the value area below, to be honest with you. So I would look forward to be a little bit more in the middle here. 2.5 or so would be a nice little entry or a nice little opportunity. Again, you are going to slide this up, right? So this will probably be a little bit closer to a 2-to-1 if you're being more realistic about it. And it really just has a lot to do with where the wick comes down. And then you got to get that bullish candle structure on the backside of that, which is something we kind of talked about here. I showed you the inverse of that. I showed you bearish, but you're just looking for the inverse, okay? You want to see a nice bullish candle, strong wick somewhere in this area. I would like to see liquidity, but something like this, you're not going to get liquidity here because you're in the middle of the range, okay? So that's not going to be a driving force. You're not going to get that SFP or any of that. This is really more just of a breakout retest of the POC, which has been a very strong indicator, or I would say a strong area of where you see price action for Ethereum. All right, let's go to the chat. Oh, did I have the chart? I did not have the chart up, man. I'm sorry. Ain't that a B? I went through all that and didn't have the chart up. That is an absolute B. I can only imagine what the chat looks like right now. Ain't that a B? All right, all good. All good. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. Cool. Let's go back to it. All right. You guys will get to hear the story the second time. Maybe the story the second time is better. Who knows? Or maybe it'll resonate more. That's all good. It's all good, man. Sorry about that. Again, I can't see the damn screen, so it is what it is. All right, so let's go to the 15-minute. All right, this was the area we were talking about, was value area low. God, I wish there was a way for somebody to like hit me up and be like, yo, screen, bro. Even then I probably wouldn't pay attention. All right, so let's go to the 15-minute. We'll kind of talk through this again. All good. We'll keep it quicker, right? I know you guys heard it. Now it's just a matter of seeing it. Okay, so this is the value area low. We were talking about that yesterday. That is where we saw the opportunity to hit our heads, get a little bit of resistance. Here's the candle I'm talking about specifically on the 15-minute, okay? This candle right here. All right, very clearly bearish. All right, not a bearish engulfing, but damn close. All right, that's a clear bearish candle. That would have likely been the entry. Okay, so that would have been the entry. This is also why you have stop losses, right? Because you put your stop loss above the wick, because you saw that price action did come back up here at some point. That probably would have scared you a little bit. If you were too quick to jump the gun and get your stop loss entry, you would have actually got closed out on this. So, you know, I'm getting to the point too, I didn't really talk about this much, is that I'm going to be probably a little bit more conservative with sliding that stop loss the entry. I think I'm going to hold on a little bit more because I see this a lot where you get this move back up to kind of retest the area, and it seems it's almost without fail comes back to the area you entered. I don't know why that is, but it just seems to happen that way. Even if you look at this right here, that actually looks like it pulls back to the platinum pocket just by eyeing it. But anyways, here's your bearish candle, right? And of course, you know, we talked about the wicks and stuff like that as well. That might be, you know, something that kind of drives your thought process too, right? You see this big wick right here, all right, followed by a bearish candle. That, you know, that is kind of an indicator if you were to see that up here, all right? Now understand this is the middle of the range, but if you were to see that up here in an area of resistance, you know, that could be something that's enticing for you as well. So anyways, back to this. We're just going to forego most of the TA, like the top-down analysis, because I think this is more important. Okay, so when we're saying, hey, get your stop loss above the wick, right? There it is. There's your entry. And now it's a matter of you figuring out where do you want to get out, right? So that's about a 1%. So I don't think you would get really more than about a 2 or 3 to 1 here, based on your stop loss being about 1% drawdown, right? So again, I was talking through this area right here. Now this is where I was saying I'd probably be likely to exit, really, and that was based on a couple factors. One, very clear support. All right, you can see it's tested this level multiple times here, right where this blue trend line is, or this horizontal line. Now, a couple things I was talking about as well is the 200. All right, that's something you got to keep in mind. But you saw the buying pressure come in, and that really is looking at the wick here. Okay, so you see this wick coming in. All right, and this is actually your candle close. Like, that's a very aggressive wick showing you that there's buying pressure. That likely would have been enough for me to close the trade. All right, hit area support, buying pressure comes in, and then gets establishes right above the 200 on the 15-minute. So that for me would have then reduced this to a 2.26% move to the downside and a 2.38 risk to reward. That's me keeping it real for you. And that's a lot of times when I'm saying, hey, like, there's people that have these target areas, right? They're like, hey, my target area was down here. It could still hit this target area. And I was talking through an example of a long position I took where that exact thing happened, where I got out a little bit early. But again, it was not all lost, and the price action ended up going right down to the target area. But I got out a little early because I didn't want to risk it, seeing that, you know, I had a couple areas of confluence kind of lining up, and, you know, if price action were to push back up, then I lose all of that. So that's what I was saying. I'm a big proponent of, like, hey, when you're sitting in the green and you're looking good and you start thinking about it and you're like, man, I don't know, should I take it, should I not take it? Just take the profits, man. Like, live to fight another day, especially when you're scalping. If you're in the scalping world, or if you're, you know, kind of intraday, I would say more often than not, being conservative is probably the right decision. So anyway, that's kind of what I was talking through. And really, like, this is not lost. Like, I mean, you can see the squeeze going on right now between the 200 and the 50 right now in the 15-minute. This is not out of play to come all the way down and actually retest that area, because we have done it before. I would say I like this area better, and that is probably, again, with the benefit of hindsight, probably would have been my exit, just knowing kind of, you know, me getting in and out of trades. So that's really what I was talking about on Ethereum, and really just getting into some of these, because I know I've run through them very quick. I'm looking at the 4 hour, I'm looking at the daily, and like, I really don't take it down to the smaller time frames to be like, okay, what does the candle actually look at? I'm like, hey, you're looking for a bullish candle structure, you know, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, you know, whatever the case may be, whatever you like, shooting star, things of that nature. Hammer, you know, there's all kinds of different patterns out there, candlestick patterns that are candlesticks formations that really would drive you get in and out of a trade. But you know, you got to be familiar with those. Some people have a cheat sheet, and really, I don't get too wrapped around it. I'm really just looking at the momentum of both the wick and the candlestick itself. I make my own analysis. It does not have to align with anything that is formal technical analysis of a candlestick. So, you know, just take that for what it's worth. I don't go by the feels, but I do look at, you know, the aggressive nature, because understand candles, right? And this is something like I want you to like really like think about, is when a candle is a time-based move, right? So it's tied to a specific time. And to be able to actually say that within that time frame, especially if you're getting down to the minute and the 3 minute, that you're going to see specifically that candlestick, you know, look like or look exactly the way you want in terms of these little like cheat sheets, that's really tough, right? Because you could look at two different candlesticks together and remember that that time could be split, yet you're getting the same indication than what you would see if it was like a you know, shooting star or, you know, a bullish engulfing. Like, no, it's not actually a bullish engulfing, but if you took the combination of the two within that specific time frame, like if you still took the 5 minutes and then you analyzed two different candles at a 2.5 minute clip, next level, right? You then notice that your percentage move is actually the same. So like, that's something that I don't know that people think about too much when they're looking at candlesticks. That's why I don't really get tied around specific structures or, you know, patterns or any of that stuff when it comes to the candlesticks themselves, because the percentage move could be the same with two different candles. It's just about when that time frame happened, right? We cannot control when the market moves up and down. So if the market's moving down, right, and you're on the 5 minute chart, in that last 2.5 minutes, there's a very aggressive move to the downside, and then you hit an area of support, and then that next 2.5 minutes, there's an aggressive move to the upside. What is that going to look like on those candles in comparison if it was just one candle and that whole move happened within a specific time frame? Then it'll give you a doji, right? So you would basically have a split, all right? And then you have the body right there in the middle, just kind of in the middle. And you're like, okay, cool. That's an indication of a potential reversal or indecision in the market. But what about if you were to take two candles? And what does that look like? You know, so that's some things that you really have to start thinking about. So for that reason, I really just kind of analyze looking at the interaction with a level of support once it gets there, or a level of resistance once it gets there. And then I kind of look at the candles kind of preceding and following when we interact with that level. And I kind of take a swag analysis of there, like, okay, cool. Is there some momentum? Is there some bullish momentum coming off of that area? And if it is, cool, that might be good enough for me. So something for you guys to think about. I was long-winded. Hopefully that was helpful though. Don't get too tied around candlestick patterns. Let's see. 1054. Let's see if we can look at one more here. I'll join in sound next time. It's just ETH. Sorry about that, man. The white interior. That's it's leather, man. Holds up pretty well too. I want to see your chart. I'm sorry. Screw that one up. I see my boy K Diggity No Doubt. What up, man? Harp's in here. What up to you? Streaming in the holy lights. Oh, man. Sorry, just going through, you guys just trashing me. Next stream from the Cobra? Yeah, that is not going to happen. They won't let me anywhere near that thing anymore. Funny thing is though, if you have a checklist, I could still do it, man. There's no doubt about it. Let me validate. All right, yep, got the chart up. We're good here. What's something we've been looking at here as of late? Well, I got a couple trades open, so let's look at Cardano and then we'll close it up with that, and then we'll get out of here. Not ideal. But we are out of the buy zone still, right? So that's good. Because that's where we entered, was in the buy zone. So looking at this here, nice little pullback. Let's do a little fib retracement just from the low to the high. All right, 0.5 would bring you down to the top of the buy zone. That ain't bad. Let's see where from the bottom, the 0.382. So that's about where you bounce. So you got a little confluence there between, you know, however you like to do your fib retracement levels. Up to you, dealer's choice. You know, I like to, like when you set a new low, that's typically where I like to do it, right? So you get a higher high and then you actually set a new low, and that's typically where I'll take it from, for me personally. But I've seen people do different things. But here or there, your 0.5 and your 0.382 are lining up in about the same spot. It's about 56.18 there. So opportunity, if you like the fib retracements, as well as horizontals, kind of lining up, good opportunity here for a bounce, right? That's what we want to see. If you are in a long position, especially like me, in a spot long, you know, you would like to see that bounce here and then continue this little trend you got going on here, right? So just kind of looking through it live. Actually kind of lost that a little bit, to be honest with you. Not ideal. Well, we're just going to hope for a bounce. Hopefully that trend line is garbage. Let's zoom out just a little bit here on Cardano. I will say ultimately the trend is not the greatest here on the 4 hour. Looking pretty bearish. We're gonna need some breakouts. Oh, Cardano, you need to get back up into your range. I mean, because really that's just setting a, whew, it's a low, honestly. Are we losing some steam? Maybe. Still think you got an opportunity for a realistic push up to 73 cents. That's gonna be my exit if you guys are curious. I did kind of talk you through here. I am understanding that, you know, we could lose this level. If we do, then at that point I will change my approach to a DCA based approach. All right, and I'll ladder into the trade. I'll just lower my cost basis, and then we'll look to work our way back up to the buy zone. At some point we should retest this area, and that'll be my exit. So understand how I'm playing the game at this point. Right now I'm taking it at the buy zone. We're looking for a push up to 73. If we lose that zone, I DCA in, I ladder in, lower my cost basis somewhere into the mid 40s, and then we hope that at some point we recover, push back up to the bottom of the zone right here, which is a very clear zone. Retest that area at a minimum, and that's when I'll get out. I'll just take whatever profits I got from, you know, 40 some cents on up. We'll just call it 42 for now for government. So that, I mean, that would be about a 19% return. So all good. Unless that's where we bounce. Sorry, that's making an assumption we would work our way all the way down. So it'd be less. It'd be about half that. If we bounce it around 40 cents or so, 43 cents, we get that bounce there, then obviously your cost basis comes up here to about 47, and then, you know, you're just taking it in half. So all right, key levels, 73 cents. We talked about that. That's really where we're looking to go up to, honestly, right now. I mean, this basically returned to where you started. So is this fib retracement even valid anymore? Nope. Wouldn't worry about that. Scary things to look for. We'll do a fib retracement from top to the bottom here. So your areas you're gonna have to look for, obviously 0.382. You don't want to see like the bullish continuation, right? If you're looking for the 0.382, you don't want to work our way up and then get rejected there and then start seeing that trend back down. That would not be ideal. Because that, you know, just think about it inverse, right? When we're bullish and you bounce off the 382, we're looking for bullish continuation. When you're bearish, unfortunately, that could, you know, send you more downside. So we'll see how it interacts to that level. That, you know, that could be an area where we just go ahead and take the profits if we work out of the zone, which I think is likely. But we'll evaluate. We'll just kind of evaluate as we work our way back up. Golden pocket is aligning with 73 cents, man. It doesn't get any better. May have to front run it a little bit at 618, but I'm telling you, man, 72 to 73 cents is a very logical move for Cardano. And that keeps you kind of safe here. Gives you a buffer.
Borgani
You don't have to go all the way back up
subscribes
and
to the
retest the
channel.
highs. You know, it's a nice little move up. And that move, did we measure that one out? I think I bought in about middle of, so we front run it. So that's about 30% move. I'm going to take that. No doubt. If we get it. So. All right, that wraps up Cardano. I think I'm going to get out of here. Check the chat real quick, see what you guys got going on. Sorry, my little hiccup on ETH there. That killed probably about 5 minutes of me rambling, but all good. Let's see. I understand candles. Light them when there's no power. Dance. Oh, man. Fair enough. Username always with the funnies. All right, scrolling through a little bit more. If I can do a backflip in the helicopter, I can do one off the pylon. I think I got that in me still. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this one up. All right, hope everybody has a good day. Sorry, I'm doing this mobile, so I have no idea how this sounds. I'll go back and check it out. Hopefully it does sound okay for you. I do got my little travel mic that I got when I was in Texas, so hopefully we're doing all right. But as always, thank you guys for being here. Like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, help me out, and get over to the Discord. All right, I'll see you guys over there, and much love. As always, trade safe, be safe, and I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past